Hello, this is Matt from topbarbeesmn.blogspot.com. Here's the entrance of our hive. They have took the entrance reducer out. There's a bunch of bees there at the entrance fanning. They're coming and going. Last week and the week before, we had 2 attempts to try to get ants out of the quilt. I think we succeeded. So here's a bunch of cinnamon around the bottom of the hive. Here is a mixture of cinnamon and Vaseline, about 1 inch wide, that I rubbed all the way around that box. And then up in the quilt itself, just doused it with cinnamon. Now, none of this seems to bother the bees at all. However, I had to change out this quilt material twice, so all I have is some really rough wood chips right now, some mulch, because I didn't have any sawdust with me before, and I think we're starting to get some humidity in the hive again. So I'm going to take a couple handfuls of this out. I have some more sawdust with now. Let's get rid of this. And you can see there's no ants scurrying for cover. Cinnamon doesn't seem to bother the bees at all, which is good. Now this was an established hive. They had a full box before oh, there's a couple ants right there. Not many though. We'll get that part out. This was, like I said, an established hive. I don't know if the cinnamon would have bothered them if I had put it in there before. Here's some sawdust. For instance, we had some problems with ants in our bait hive. Filled those up with cinnamon too, and I'm kind of curious to see what's going to happen now. So there's some sawdust. Hopefully that'll keep the humidity down. Here's some cinnamon. We're just going to douse this with cinnamon too. So I put cinnamon in the bait hives too. Checked it this week. There are no ants in the bait hive right now, which is good. However, it is all covered with cinnamon. I don't know if that's going to cover up the lemongrass scent. I don't know how easy the bees are going to find it, or if they'll really, it's not bothering them now that they're in an established hive, but I don't know in an empty hive that I'm trying to bait them to if they're going to like the cinnamon or not. But at least the ants are basically out of this hive. So there's that. Put the lid back on and I'll show you in the boxes here. So here's the top box. This is the first one that we had. They're doing great. I'm kind of wondering what these little white dots are though, and they're in all 3 boxes. I'm really not sure what that is. Maybe somebody out there in the internet world knows. Here's the new box. Well, the second box, and they finally moved down into that. And as far as I can tell, it's about half full, but there's all those little white dots on the edge again. And there's a bunch of moisture here. Oh, that's the Vaseline. But you can see the clouding on the window. There's humidity inside of there. And here's the newest box we put on because they were bearding before. And there's some ants in there, and I think they actually started building, I don't think you can see it, but I think they started building one comb in this one too. But there's those little white dots again. I have no idea what that is. Hopefully somebody can let me know. Alright, we'll check them again in a couple weeks. See you then.